Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Big Bad Toy Store exclusive black and white accent Martian Manhunter. This is a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, limited to 3,010 pieces, kind of an odd number. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, this is part of the Gold Label collection. The McFarlane Gold Label figure is simply a retailer exclusive, whether it be Target, Walmart, or Amazon. This particular Gold Label is a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. DC, Martian Manhunter, DC Rebirth, Black and White Accent Edition. Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, limited to 3,010 pieces. A very odd number, that's for sure. Authenticated limited edition. One side of the package, Martian Manhunter, DC Rebirth, black and white accent. Other side, blank, little barcode on the back. Here's Martian Manhunter from the Rebirth comics. At the bottom, got a bunch of credits. There is his barcode, if that helps anybody. But let me remind you, it's only sold at the Big Bad Toy Store. So this is one of McFarlane's deluxe packaging. Has the outer sleeve. Go ahead and take that off. And then you can see Martian Manhunter inside. Looks like we have a display stand, collector's card, and then the figure. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all the accessories laid out. He comes with a display stand. It's a little bit different than the typical McFarlane display stand. He also has a collector's card and a stand for the collector's card. But before we take a look at the accessories, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, black and white with red accent Martian Manhunter. He's based off Martian Manhunter from the Rebirth comics. Martian Manhunter's real name is Jean Jones. He walks around like a human sometimes. He's a shapeshifter, ton of powers, vulnerable to fire. So let's take a look. I think kind of interesting that they chose Martian Manhunter of all characters to add to their black and white accent line, although it works for him, and I guess that's why. The gray skin, the red, the black, it all works. The red eyes in there, very well done. Face sculpt is good. As a whole, the figure is a little bit shorter than it should be. He's got double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. You can see a little bit of sort of texturing on his outfit there. Big cape. It all looks pretty good. I like the gray skin. I like the original figure, and this one is a pretty cool variant. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Now let's check out his accessories. He doesn't come with any traditional accessories, just some various display stands and collector's cards, which don't mean a whole lot to me, but let's check them out. He's got the large DC display stand, black, red letters DC, peg for the peg hole in his feet. Definitely different than the typical McFarlane display stand. He also has a collector's card here. As you can see, it's Martian Manhunter, painted black and white, red. Martian Manhunter, black, white, accent edition. Backside, you can see certificate of authenticity. This number, 2,978 of 3,010. 3,010, very odd number to make. Then we also have the display stand for the collector's card. It says Martian Manhunter. And here's the display stand with the collector's card attached. Could be pretty cool if you're into that sort of thing to be displayed next to your figure. Now I wanted to check out the differences between this new Martian Manhunter and the original Rebirth version. Besides the obvious paint differences, there are absolutely no differences. Same figure, same sculpt, same articulation. But the new one is very visually pleasing. The color scheme looks good, it pops. It's just not a very practical variant. You could use it for, I don't know, a sick Martian Manhunter, a mind-controlled Martian Manhunter, maybe another Martian that's evil, or just a paint variant on your shelf. Whatever you want. So looking at the two figures, I really like these red eyes. They really pop in that guy. It looks good. They both have sort of a red and black outfit, but the colors are much more vibrant in the red here. Got the little clamps for the cape. Overall, they look good. Cape's a different color. Outfit similar, but the main difference is the skin tone and the red. Now they're taking a pretty good look at both the figure and his lack of accessories. Now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing right about 7 inches tall, which can translate to just under 18 centimeters. Now for his articulation. Starting with his head, of course, it can rotate from side to side. You can look up and down about that much. Can't really look up much, but down a little bit. Tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders, ball joint, goes out about 90 degrees. Up, down, around. Only go up about this far. The shoulder armor there is going to sort of prohibit that. He's got a butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest area, although you can barely see it. Increase the range of motion and cover a large gap that would be there. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows, they go all the way in. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged. In his torso, he's got a ball joint, rotate around, forward and back. Another one is waist, rotate around, forward and back. Between the two, pretty good range of motion. Legs, almost as splits, not completely. Not a ball joint, McFarlane style hip joints. Rotation is pretty good on him. The legs go forward about that much, back not too much. Double jointed knees, and then his ankle, forward and back. Rotate, tilt, rock, and of course, to articulation. Here's a look at all three of the McFarlane DC Multiverse Martian Manhunter figures in sort of a Mars type background. Here's Martian Manhunter flying in the skies, and here's a closer look at John Johns. Here's Martian Manhunter flying around the surface of Mars. Here's Martian Manhunter being attacked by one of the white Martians. And before he can even begin to get the upper hand, there's another white Martian coming to join his friend. And here's Martian Manhunter defeating both the white Martians with ease. Now I mentioned before, Martian Manhunter's only weakness is fire. A little can of gasoline here, and you can beat him. It's just that simple. And it's not really that simple. Here's Martian Manhunter on fire. This is his main and only weakness. Now let's check him out next to some other action figures, starting off with some of the Martian Manhunter figures. Here's this black and white accent version of the Rebirth Martian Manhunter, next to the standard version with the normal colors. Both excellent figures, maybe just a tiny bit too short. Still, nice to have a modern version of Martian Manhunter and a classic version of Martian Manhunter, both in the McFarlane collection. Here he is, next to the DC Classics Target exclusive gold label version of Martian Manhunter. Here are all three versions of McFarlane's DC Multiverse Martian Manhunter. I'm not sure what other versions they would make, although I wouldn't mind a Zack Snyder's Justice League version. Here he is, next to a DC Direct CW Arrowverse Martian Manhunter. Then, next to a Mattel DC Multiverse version of the CW Arrowverse Martian Manhunter. Here are all the different Martian Manhunter figures I have in my collection. I wouldn't mind having the Mattel DC Universe Classics standard version, but with the McFarlane DC Classics, I think I'm okay. Here's Martian Manhunter, next to a couple of McFarlane Warhammer Tyrannid Gene Stealers. These are some really cool action figures, and work perfect for some white Martians for Martian Manhunter to fight. Now I do believe there's a Platinum Chase variant of the Gene Stealer out there. Never actually seen one, but I'd be very interested in getting a couple. If anyone has a lead on that, drop me a line in the comments below. Now let's check them out. Next to some other Big Bad Toy Store exclusive black and white accent figures. Here he is, next to the black and white accent Superman. Then, next to the black and white accent Flash figure. And even though he's not part of the McFarlane DC Multiverse line, he's part of McFarlane's Spawn line. Here he is with the black and white accent Spawn figure. Here are all the different black and white accent Big Bad Toy Store exclusive figures. Spawn here is black and white with green accents. Martian Manhunter and Superman are both black and white with red accents. And then Flash is black and white with yellow accents. Now let's check him out. Next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to the Amazon exclusive gold label Glow in the Dark Rebirth John Stewart. Still waiting on the Glow in the Dark Swamp Thing. And here he is, next to the two most recent McFarlane Mega figures, the Justice Buster and Anti-Monitor. Then, next to the Hush Superman, the Tim Drake Robin, and the DC Classics Riddler. There's a Platinum Chase version of the DC Classics Riddler. I'm on the hunt for him. And now, with some recent McFarlane Toy Store exclusive gold label figures, we have the patina variants of Superman in his Unchained Armor and Superboy Prime, and then Catman and Dick Grayson Robin. Here's Martian Manhunter, next to the Blue Beetle movie wave. We have the regular Blue Beetle, Carapace, and the Battle Mode Blue Beetle. And here he is, next to the first wave of McFarlane Collector's Edition. We have both versions of the first appearance Superman, Alan Scott Green Lantern, and the Abyss. Now there's a Platinum Chase variant of all three of these figures. As you can see, I've already tracked down the Superman, but I'm looking for Alan Scott in the Abyss. I believe I have Alan Scott on the way, but I'm desperately looking for Abyss. I actually need 2 of the Platinum Chase variants of Abyss. If anybody out there knows where I can get one, please drop me a line in the comments below. Hopefully we can work something out. Then, next to the Batman and Spawn 2-pack. And now, next to the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Dark Knight Trilogy gold label figures, we have Bane with his coat, Joker as a bank robber thug, and then Joker as seen through the sonar vision. Here's Martian Manhunter. Next to some more San Diego Comic-Con exclusive figures, we have the 85th anniversary Superman, the 30th anniversary Nightfall Batman, the Page Puncher sketch Mr. Freeze, and the Dark Knight's Metal Alan Scott Dread Lantern. Next, let's check him out with some Target exclusive figures. Here he is, next to the Superman vs. Doomsday 2-pack. And here he is, next to some Target exclusive Joker Eyes stuff. Then, with some more Target exclusive figures, we have the Sinestro Corps Batman, Ted Kord Blue Beetle, then Impulse and Deadman. And now, with the Target exclusive Flashpoint Wave, Aquaman, Project Superman, and The Flash. Here's the Martian, next to the Injustice 2 3-pack, Batman, Supergirl, and Dr. Fate. And here he is, next to some recent Walmart exclusive gold label figures. We have the Vampire Batman, Joker, and Superman. Then Captain Atom, Beast Boy, and Eradicator. Then, next to the goofy head sculpt Rebirth Superman vs. Ultraman 2-pack. And now, next to the most recent Batman wave, we have the Nightfall Batman, Batman Incorporated Batwing, and the Batman Reborn Two-Faces Batman. And finally, next to the 5th wave of Page Punchers, this is a Batman-themed wave, fighting the Frozen. We have Batman, Robin, both versions of Batgirl, and Mr. Freeze. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and we're way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers and sisters. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, next to some more McFarlane Toys, these are from different various video game properties. And now, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures, here's Martian Manhunter, next to a box of Frankenberry cereal. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here he is, standing with some NECA figures. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, with some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collector figures. Then, with some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is, next to some Mayfix figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, it's a pretty cool looking Martian Manhunter figure. The color scheme works, the gray skin, the black, the very vibrant red. It's visually pleasing, but it's a very unnecessary figure. If you're like me and you're a completist, you want to get all the variants, then it makes sense to you. It's good for a display piece, but it's not good for practical action figure interaction or photography. Sculpt and paint job are excellent, accessories are non-existent, articulation is everything you expect from a modern McFarlane DC Multiverse figure. If I were to rate this guy, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10, not because it's a bad figure, but just because it's an unnecessary figure. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.